And this will also be introducing a brand new expansion called the Arcane Arts. I do want to mention that this campaign does also offer an upgrade pack, so you don't have to buy the whole game over again. You can just get that pack, and then it'll give you the necessary components and storage containers so that you can include the new expansion in your existing box. But for those of you that are not familiar with this game, this is a game where players are going to be competing as magicians from the 1800s. Each player is going to be playing as their own unique magician with their own special abilities and skills, and you're going to be putting together a team, performing different tricks, and trying to earn the most fame. The game plays over 7 rounds for players to attempt to do this by earning that fame, but also if you find yourself with excess funds, you can also try to buy your way to the top by paying for marketing. But the core of this game is worker placement, and you're going to have different types of workers that you'll be able to recruit in order to perform different actions, and depending on the workers that you choose, you might have different options available to you, and each of the workers might come with a different amount of base energy that you'll be able to spend for actions at whatever location you choose. And this is an example of some of the different workers that you might be able to recruit to your team, and you can see the number of action points they have at the bottom of the token. Each of the locations that you can assign them to can also have different amounts of energy that can get added to that worker's base energy, and also you can collect different types of tokens that you can spend in order to get even more action points. In addition to each player getting their starter workers at the beginning of the game, each player is also going to get a hand of location cards. These are going to feature the different locations that you can send those workers to, and each round, in order to send those workers out, you're going to be pairing them with one of those location cards, but you're going to be putting these out in front of you simultaneously, face down, so that no other player knows exactly where you're sending each of your workers. But of course, these will get revealed, and then players will be able to send their workers out to the different locations, and the different locations can do things like gain you money, which you can then spend at other locations to either purchase additional workers or purchase different tools and items that you can use and reuse to perform various tricks. And of course, there are action locations that you can visit in order to discover new tricks, and these are going to come in the form of cards, and these can have different costs, requirements, or rewards depending on the trick that you choose. And there's a separate action in order to learn the trick on the card if you do meet the requirements of that trick. Learning a trick doesn't just gain you the benefits of that trick, but it's also going to be gaining you trick tiles that you can then use actions for in order to place out into different performances that are going to be represented by other cards around the main board. Players are going to be trying to place these out in such a way that you're creating patterns where the different icons on the tiles match the icons on the tiles next to them. Of course, all of this amounts to the main and most important action that you can perform, and this can only be performed with your magician, and that's to actually claim a day in order to perform a show. Claiming an earlier day does reward you with less rewards, but you are getting those rewards sooner that you can invest into other actions. But you're going to be gaining the bonuses of that action, plus the bonuses of the different tricks that you're able to perform, and those different patterns that you were able to create on those different performance cards. And although only your magician is able to perform this action, you can still assign your other workers into supporting roles to operate behind the scenes to make your performance that much better. Like many games offered from Minecraft games, this one is on the heavier side, so there is a lot more content to this game than I can just explain in this short video here. But this is also a game that's been out for a while, and a ton of people love this one, and there is a ton of content and reviews out for this game already if you do want to see some additional opinions. Like I said, this will also be including a brand new expansion that you'll be able to mix into the game, and what's really cool about this expansion is that it's actually going to be introducing real magic into the mix. This is going to be making its way into the game in various ways through a mysterious wanderer that's going to be moving through the different locations out on the board, introducing new arcane actions and granting different arcane resources such as shards that players can use to increase their action points even more, or enchantments that can actually be used to supplement any of the standard components needed for your various trick cards. But these are permanently going to be upgrading those tricks to produce even more bonuses than they already do. There's also going to be some brand new supernatural workers introduced into this game, including a specter, a golem, a trickster, and a shapeshifter. As I mentioned, all of this will be offered in a big box solution with storage containers in order to make setup and teardown as easy as it can be. And if this one does sound interesting to you, this is a great opportunity to get your hands on it, and you can find a link to the campaign in the description below, and also follow along if you do want to get notified once this one launches.